If you're a filmmaker, you'll probably notice how Japan has exploded as a filmmaking location over the last few years. There are hundreds of cinematic Japan videos out there, and look, I'm not even going to argue Japan is gorgeous. I've shot here many times myself, and I think what makes it so impressive is the authenticity. The locations, the culture, and how polite and well-mannered the people are. So in this video I'm breaking down how we build a high-end mobile rig and shoot a short film in Tokyo with just a few light fixtures in exterior and interior scenes. I will show you exactly how we brought our vision to life, from scouting hidden locations to staying low profile on busy streets. So a few words about the location. Filmmakers are obsessed with Japan, and so are tourists. Lately, the country has seen a huge influx of people, and pulling out the camera on the streets can sometimes bother or even annoy locals. I'm personally against ruining someone's peace for the sake of content, you know. So from the start, we decided to go with minimal setup for our exterior establishing shots. The goal was to stay low profile and, most importantly, stay out of the way. We wanted to show maximum respect to the locals and the rules. One key rule to remember: in busy areas, you can't have a group of more than 3 people filming without a permit. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. Okay, let's talk gear. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Sony cameras, but for this project, a good friend of mine hooked me up with a solid Sony FX6 kit. It's actually a very convenient camera for run-and-gun shooting. Changing ND, swapping lenses, or toggling FPS settings is just one button press away. Since this was a narrative style shoot rather than a travel vlog, I needed precise focus and external monitor. We put together a great budget-friendly ecosystem from HoloLens. It works flawlessly over Wi-Fi across different devices. Check this out. We had a Pyra Ultra transmitter on the camera. The focus puller got the signal on the Pyra 7 monitor. The gaffer used his iPhone to see the frame via Wi-Fi, and I used my iPad for the live feed. Also, we used the HoloLens Mars M1 as the on-camera monitor. As for lenses, we just worked with what we had. I brought my vintage Helios 58mm. We also had a Canon FD zoom and 24mm Nikon lens. On top of that, Anthony, our focus puller, brought an amazing 65mm Blazar anamorphic. I deliberately choose this set on vintage glass and anamorphics. To me, Sony cameras provided with modern lenses like the G Master series look too clean, you know, too sharp, and honestly a bit soulless. This setup gave the image that extra something, you know. During the post-production, I already had a playlist for the edit. I like setting the mood early and building my references around the music from the start. I use Audiio. I have a massive, carefully curated library of tracks made by real artists and composers, and the quality stems from the other services I've used. Audiio gave me clean, simple licensing with no surprises, and the music actually helps elevate the storytelling and emotion of the project. Their AI feature that splits themes into separate layers helps build more complex sound design and adds more flexibility to your edits. They also have intuitive AI search tools that make finding the right song really easy, so you don't have to spend hours searching. Yes, the music is and will remain human-made, which is important to me. You can try it out with free trial, and if you like it, you can get 70% off your first year of the Audiio Pro plan using discount code ANBRY, making just $59. Link in the description. So locations are probably the main reason filmmakers flock to Japan, and they are stunning. But this time, I didn't want to go to the overplayed crowded spots. Tokyo is full of hidden gems, textures, atmospheric places where you can actually tell a story. My producer Vlad and I spent time scouting less popular neighborhoods, just walking around and filming everything on our phones. And check out the spot from different angles. Of course, to film with a crew and gear you need a permission. We did everything by the book. We got permits for every location where the full crew was involved. Our process was simple: scout everything, then pick the best spots from the ones that gave us the green light. No guerrilla style, no shady business. Each shot took 20 or 30 minutes to set up, so it's much better to work without the stress of being kicked out. So briefly, here is my approach to lighting on budget projects. I usually work with 3 scenarios. The first one, natural light enhanced by artificial sources. The second one, night shoots using street lights plus mobile lights for close-ups. And the last one, pure natural light as a key. I could talk about lighting for hours. The mood, contrast and depth of the frame depend entirely on how you light it. Over the year, I built up a massive library of knowledge on how to create depth and tell a story through lighting, composition, and color. I share all these techniques from commercial work to low-budget indie tips in my online masterclass, Modern Cinematography. And you can find the full masterclass breakdown and the link in the description. But for now, let's look at what we did here. I use contrast to divide the frame into negative and positive space, which adds a lot of depth. Dark on light and light on the dark. It's simple but effective. In this scene, the main contrast booster is aperture 1200x, fighting through mirrors to perfectly mimic harsh, direct sunlight. To make sure the frame didn't look too contrasty or completely lose the midtones in the shadows, we added a side fill using a Power Slim 120. It worked beautifully for the medium and close-up shots, creating a soft look and nice catch light in the eyes. We used this exact logic for most our scenes. The window light was boosted by the aperture 1200x, while the Power Slim 120 stayed indoors to handle the fill and soften the contrast. In the temple scene, we used a natural beam of sunlight. Our lighting director Fumitaka caught the light with mirrors and reflected it into the actress as a sidelight. So this gave us contrast not just in the background, but on the subject as well. And the goal of combining real and artificial light is to enhance reality and not fake it. So I want to say a huge thank you to our team who made this happen. The crew in Japan, our amazing actors, the talent agency, and our sponsors Holy Land for the accessible and pro-grade gear, and the Audiio for the incredible soundtracks.